So I hand over to Olinga Taeed, who is a professor at the Birmingham University, but he's also an entrepreneur. He had a lot of companies before, and he will talk about a startup in the Middle East, a banking startup, that's correct. And it's about a DLT, so it's about blockchain arbitrage and open banking for social alignment. And we are very curious about this. So actually, I have no real idea what it's about. So please, Olinga.
Okay, thank you very much, Sven. And thank you for the invitation. And also thank you for the previous speakers, which have meant that I don't need to go into technical detail, but I'll talk about major concepts that we're introducing, and including the last speaker who talked about ecosystems. Okay, I'm seeing a screen. I'm not sure, Sven, you're on my screen at the moment. Anyway, I don't know why. Okay, so
you have to you want to show a presentation?
Not yet. I just want to speak first on video.
Okay, well, I can see you. I think we can see you.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I guess the first thing to say is, you know, open banking has not yet had any traction, has not really become mainstream, has not got anywhere yet, and it's in the early stages. This is nothing new to me. I'm a professor in blockchain, and I can tell you blockchain is exactly the same. Blockchain, despite all the hoo-ha, has not yet got a mainstream application. Apart from Bitcoin, which is tiny values, you know, in comparison to banking, it has yet to find its home. So the question is first, why is it that these things haven't yet had adoption and quicker acceleration? The fact is, open banking is looking at our financial value system. And this is not what anyone cares about right now. Let's look at what really matters right now. What matters, you know, are Black Lives Matter right now. What matters are the pandemic, you know, our health matters. What matters is climate change. These are things that are inspiring society and the world and are getting them to get out of the house and actually do something and to motivating them because of the alignment of their values. And we think open banking is actually key to being a bridge between the alignment of our values through to our financial value, where we can bring real financial power behind what we believe in. So I guess the first thing to talk about here is, you know, how can this be done? Because open banking is a data system. The reality is we have been working, not just we, the world have been working on data systems. Data is the new currency of our world. It drives our interest. It drives everything we do. If I am to share my screen, let me see if I can bring you a little, okay. I think this one. I hope you can, yeah, there you go. Okay, so you know, we have been working for about 12 years now on research into looking at data flow that's linked to our values. And we developed a system called the social earnings ratio. The SE ratio is the corollary to the price earnings ratio, which you'll all be familiar with. And this is nothing, you know, stupendously new here in what you see in front of you. On the left, you know, you have got in America, you know, West Coast is all about data. Your data and your thoughts is what they're trying to get to, and what you feel about that. Your sentiment is analyzed constantly by Google, through your Gmail, through by Facebook, by Instagram, by WhatsApps, by Amazon, to what you buy, how you feel about things, and they want to nudge your behavior based on your feelings and your thoughts to get to buy more stuff from them, or to influence elections, for example. If we go a bit more into the kind of regional area, this is the obsession of Europe, you know, where we have GDPR, my data, my way. And that is primarily, I have to say, it hasn't worked. GDPR has been a kind of bit disaster right now, because it's just, we just click on links to accept cookies all day. But regional data, you know, and regional government is very important to our areas, including, and for example, look at, you know, Middle East region. You know, Middle East, they've got they look at data, they have a happiness in a ministry in UAE, where they have enough financial data, they understand finance. They are in the top 3% of the world in finance, but they're not in the top 20%, the top 20 of soft power in the world. So they want to bring other kind of value through their financial system. They want to bring happiness and so on. You know, so and then I you know, I on the right hand side, global strategies. I'm sit on the regulator for China government for blockchain and cryptocurrency. It's about $103 trillion market. They own 70% of the global market, and the fact is, they believe that data belongs, your data belongs to government, because they are responsible to look after the corpus of society rather than individual. And they want to align your behavior and reward your behavior, good behavior, with financial rewards. So there are, in China, we have things like the social credit system, which of course, you know, looks to exactly do that. It controls your travel and so on. And we have integration into Alipay and WeChat Pay, etc. So money and open data is not the problem. It's actually what you can do with it in terms of our value systems. Okay, so I think if I can see how I can close that screen. I can't. Anyway, I'll have to give me. I'm so incompetent when it comes to these things. Right. Anyway, I'll
there is a menu on top of PowerPoint or what you're using. So with mouse over, it should drop into the screen, and there you can click stop sharing.
Sure. Thank you very much. You see, all these degrees and still stupid. There you go. So we see open banking as the bridge between our values and our financial systems, and our financial power that we have individually, and then transferred to more collective things like what a country might want from us, what a region might want from us, and so on. And the way we go about this is we have been working on fourth industrial revolution technology systems like blockchain, like AI, like IoT, and 5G. So briefly, what blockchain provides us is the ability to arbitrage between financial value, because we can tokenize that, and our non-financial value, because we can tokenize that also. So in the same way as sentiment can be digitized and is digitized daily by the West Coast companies, we can digitize these values. In a nutshell, we can digitize love, happiness, hope, beauty, what we feel about things, and that is a well-known science that you know, we have not invented, but we have used. And so what blockchain can do is put it on the same platform, pari passu, so that financial value and non-financial value can be traded. And it means you can make some things happen based on your non-financial value to your financial value. Let me give you an illustration. So if I go onto AI, you know, we're all used to Alexa and Google, you know, Assistant and Bixby and Siri and so on. The fact is, I want to be able to say to Alexa, not what time is it, or go and get me this product. I want to say, make sure I want a product that's aligned to my values. I don't want a product that may have modern slavery connotations. I do want a product that is aligned to Black Lives Matter. I do want, you know, help me make those choices and go and do it seamlessly through my bank account, buy it, bring it here. Here's my values. And to do that, you need open data systems to be able to link what I'm feeling and this data over here to this data over here. You know, equally, we have institutions and corporates in the middle that, for example, you know, in Holland and many other countries like ABN AMRO, look, they have a duty of care put by the government to them to give social value a special place in their decision making, so that if, for example, someone uses a house which is more energy efficient, they want to give loans, etc., on better value to better terms for those people. They want to give lower interest rates. They want to reward people which are more closely aligned to those kind of values. And that goes right through to China, you know, where I'm very familiar with, but to all the other countries where they want to use our values to actually affect a value in financially. And only open banking can do this for us. So the thing that enables many of these things to happen is this 5G networks that are coming out now. And so we have a 5G research center that actually looks at local, you know, it's hyper locality, local decision making, very quick decision making based on where you are and your circumstances at the time and all the other data systems that are around you. And you know, these infrastructures are very nascent, they're coming, but 5G, I think, is going to make quite a big difference because it's, again, data layers. And one of our data layers is, of course, our personal data. You know, already companies make decisions on loans and so on based on your Facebook performance, based on your social media performance, on your TikTok performance, because they say, if we find that we think you misbehave over there, we are not going to think you're a good financial bet. So this is, again, nothing new, but what's lacking is a whole ecosystem to do that. The same thing is with IoT. You know, the people don't realize that code has ethics. There is an ideology in code, in products. I could say to Sven, for example, Sven, I love your glasses. I'll pay you $100,000 for it, but I pay you in KKK tokens. And he goes, well, I'm not a racist, so I'd rather not have that. Thank you. And I don't have friends who are actually racist or part of that community to spend it on. So value and values are already associated. So in a IoT area, I can have, for example, a doorbell that is racist. I can say, ring the bell, but if I'm a racist, as a black man on the other side, I don't want to hear it. So we have a whole program that goes around putting ethics and codes in that data set that is transferred. So these things have come together. And what we've done over the a number of years is built an ecosystem to manage that process. So if I share with you, let's have a look. If I share with you another, yeah, okay. So we built yes, I think you should see that now. So we built in 2017, I mean, we did this work starting in 2011, and it represents many thousands of years of man hours. And we started, can you see this screen, by the way, Sven, if I may ask?
Yes, we can see it. Yes, it's here.
Okay, thank you. So if so we did a small raise of 9.5 million sterling in 2017, an ICO with FCA guidance, which is unusual. And we developed put a lot of our work into the blockchain space, and we developed an ecosystem, which the previous speaker also talked about, where we transfer our financial value, but based on our values. And we developed a system that actually can do this, and we implemented it in code. And we finished that at the end of 2018. We called it the Soratio representing, of course, social earnings ratio. You know, basically, you guys are from finance world, so you understand the PE plus your SE is your total value. Your financial value and your non-financial value is the total value of everything we do. And what it requires, components of this ecosystem, of course, first, there has to be an exchange system that can that can arbitrage between these things. There has to be things like exchanging non-financial tokens. There is a whole area around $500 million of non-financial unredeemed tokens that are not claimed every year. So we are looking to utilize all this, not just to be aligned to the governments of these worlds and the regions of the world, but also to our personal value. I want to ensure that what I buy and how I live my life is run by the goodness of what I do. We have a kind of vision, which is, I want to be able to do volunteering. I want to be credited in my on my app, on my phone, with a system that social credit. I want to be able to go down Google Street and buy at this shop, not that shop, because this shop treats its staff well and that doesn't. I want to be able to go down, buy this product. I want to buy a good this milk here made by happy cows and happy people and happy milk, in happy grass, and this other one is made through modern slavery. I want to go to Starbucks and I want to be able to trade with my values. If Starbucks believes that as a Black person I have value, they will give me greater discounts. All this comes through open banking. So effectively, we see, we implemented a system in end of 2018 after years of research and, our main success was in procurement. And then in 2019, we started looking through open banking eyes, how it applies to mainstream banking. And we were very enamored by, we were very supported by and complemented by people like ABN AMRO, who believed that we were a missing link, to some of the strategies of the bank, aligning themselves to government strategies, etc., and to Middle East. One of our the Middle East intrigues us a lot. They are really looking for new paradigms, not financial paradigms. They are looking for new paradigms of non-financial value. So, for example, there is a city in Saudi that they're developing called Neon. Now, Neon is $500 billion investment. I mean, and it's only 1 million people. So that's a big number. And there, if I see if I can share that screen with you. Okay, so there they want to drive a city not by the amount of money you have, but the values you have for a new society. But of course, money plays a huge part in this. Money plays, it's the oil that drives everything forward. But they don't want it to be that you have money means you also get benefits. In fact, quite the opposite. And so we developed a white paper and a whole division called Values Enabler. In fact, I see on the call, the chair of Values Enabler is on the call, and I believe the CEO, Mariam, is on the call as well. Thank you to Sven, I have to say. And there, we shared our white paper, and you're welcome to look at valuesenablers.com and have a look at that white paper, where we started to say, what would a world look like through open banking eyes that is not about nudging behavior to buy more or faster payments or more efficient payments, which honestly, I don't think that many people care about. I truly don't think it's the thing that burns, in the heart of people right now. It's, what I believe, people are concerned about now is actually, and we've seen in society, the response that they have is actually to do with how we behave with each other and our social values. So this is the focus of our work in open banking. We are very open to collaboration. We're international. We have about 170,000 members around the world, and we're long established. We have centers in various universities, including, as Sven said, Birmingham City University, and another one we should be announcing hopefully this month in July. But one's in China and one's in America. In fact, the one that Donald Trump, the university he went to, Fordham's in New York, is our partner there as well. Our entire focus, is to use these great new instruments of fourth industrial revolution technologies, of blockchain, of AI, of open banking, to bring a better world. And I hope, Sven, this has given a better context in a short, brief presentation about what we do. And we are always, we're a not-for-profit organization, so we are absolutely delighted to cooperate and to collaborate. We're open source. Everything we do is open source. We've written some 14 white papers, all open source. Code is open source on GitHub. So, we're there to work with you and help with you, and we have nothing but good intentions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Olinga. So maybe I didn't get it, but when will this C-Ratio Bank start?
So it was supposed to start this year, but we've now had in fact in April, but we've now had the pandemic. So all problems have now been put back to August, hopefully. But it's really to do with being able to sign agreements and meet, and lawyers being back in their offices right now. But it's been in preparation a long time. It took us about 18 months to get to this point. Okay, and there's about 6 components to it. I've not shared with you yet. I'm not allowed to share with you yet. But the fact, what I've shared with you is the concept of open banking as a bridge, not between our financial data and our values, which is what will be the heart of C-Ratio Bank. The C-Ratio Bank, in essence, when I describe it to people, they want to know in a sentence. I go, it's a bank where you can not just bank money and diamonds and gold and hard assets, but also other things which have of value, love and happiness and hope, etc. You find the Middle East have no problems in having hard assets. They don't really have a problem with that. What they're trying to do is change the youth in that area. What China is trying to do, not just for their 1.4 billion people in China, but for their 72 countries in their One Belt, One Road initiative that they also have, is to use their values to build up a better world. And it's basically, in a nutshell, the same kind of tools that Amazon, etc., might use to enable you to buy more, or Facebook have been using to get people to vote in certain directions. But it's actually to use that financial instruments and power to empower you. I want to be able to buy a product that has provenance aligned to me. I want a product that's sustainable. I want to have a product, and maybe today I don't want to. I want to be able to negotiate that. I want you to recommend that to me. I don't need you even to do that, buy that automatically. And all this comes through open banking. So we're we're very niche. We're not a big deal. We're not a big deal bank, and we won't be a big deal bank. But we're conceptually moving things forward in a big way, I think.